Okay, so thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you and each one of you who are attending this session. And I also like to thank UNU-WIDER for the invitation, also because this is a project that is partially funded by them. So the project that I'm going to present today to you is called Resilience in Adversity, How Social Policies Amend Labor and Capital Mobility in the Face of Extreme Weather Events. I'm the leading author, Vinicius Schuabb, from Bocconi University, but I also have Pedro Maia, Valdemar Neto, Sérgio Guimarães, and Paulo Tafner as co-authors in this project. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of summarize what is the idea I'm trying to convey to you today. And basically the first question is if and how cash transfers influence the resilience strategies of vulnerable populations facing extreme natural events. So I'm kind of shifting the question that the previous presenters showed before, and I'm trying to move at a very pressing topic, which is climate change, and more specifically, those extreme natural events which have been more recurrent. What we are doing here is examining the Brazilian Bolsa Família, which many of the sessions before we were introduced to this, which is a conditional cash transfer. And we're looking at the relocation decisions of vulnerable populations affected by extreme rainfall events. So basically, we're looking at the last resort of the decisions that households usually make, which is to relocate to a different place because of displacement. Just to summarize the key findings that you're going to see here, these CCT benefits have a significant reducing the likelihood of relocation of the individuals within a year after the extreme natural events. I'm going to show that the odds of relocating declines by approximately 6% for catastrophic events and 4% for extreme ones. And I'm going to also show you that these are primarily driven by a declining within municipality relocations and are not observing following like a milder rainstorm. So basically there's a fading out of based on how intense is the event. In this slide, I usually try to understand CCTs beyond poverty relief, because as a main goal, CCTs are basically thought about poverty relief programs. But we all know, we have seen like many different outcomes on how receiving the cash transfers can change the life of those households. And we think that these effective social protection systems may enhance the resilience when we think about the socioeconomic impacts of climate-related extreme events. I'm going to be quick on this because Bolsa Família, as the other presenter said earlier, it is one of the largest CCTs in the world, reaching approximately, in the years that I'm going to present here, 13 million households and almost 31 million people in 2019. We have this quite pressing topic that natural disasters associated to this climate change are occurring with increasing frequency and severity in the world. Basically, they disproportionately are affecting those vulnerable populations more than any others within those countries. They often reside in areas with inadequate infrastructure and limited capacity for resilience. And even financially speaking, they usually have like a very inadequate access to financial. So as a result, this climate-induced relocation has increased in the recent decades. This is just like an idea of what am I analyzing here. It is a sample, this is the Brazilian map here. Those points are the municipalities, more specifically the households that I'm analyzing. The data set that I'm using is the Cadastro Único, which sometimes called the single registry, which we can track the social economic vulnerability, the households and the individuals which are located in those places. We have the Bolsa Família payrolls, which we can have information on those CCT benefits. We have this BATER data set, which basically are polygons within 872 Brazilian municipalities, which we can see those households which are located in places of climate vulnerability. I add this information of CHIRPS with a precipitation index to have the historical distribution of rainfall in those places. I also combine this with this S2AD, which is the federal government agency specialized in natural disasters. If they acknowledge a natural event occurring in a specific municipality in a specific date in time. And we also have different governmental transfers in this last portal of Transparência from Brazilian government. So zooming in the big data that I've shown before, this is a map of the city of Rio de Janeiro. And what we can see here, and the shades of blue, those squares, I hope you can see those squares here. This is basically the area that the CHIRPS data set can cover. Okay, we have those little dots, white dots, which is the geographical coordinates of households' addresses in the Brazilian Cadastro Único, which is basically households in social vulnerability. Those red polygons are the climate vulnerability ones, which we can see there are spread all over the city. What we do, we apply a buffer of approximately 1.1 kilometers or 0.7 miles, because we don't have the exactly place where a person lives. We have approximations retrieving the geographical coordinate at the street level. With this, we try to identify those who are in a very granular way, specifically affected by the extreme natural event. Here, a rainfall event. How we do that? We have this standardized precipitation index, which basically we have like the information in a 5-day window of rainfall in a specific place. We match this data if there is a extreme natural event recognized by the Brazilian authority, and this information is only recognized with have physical damage in that municipality, in that event. And with this, we can have, like, for a given month, understand if the household and the individuals in that household were affected by an extreme natural event. And we can analyze our dependent variable that's going to be the relocation between 1 year and the next one. How are we going to do this? I have those categories of extreme natural events, which are based on rainfall. We have the first one, which is catastrophic rainfall, which is based on the distribution. So these are extremely high rainfall precipitation in a given grid, in a given area. We have the extreme rainfall, which is a little less, between 1 and 0.0001% of the distribution. And we have the severe rainfall ones. And how we're going to do these estimations, we're analyzing the reduced forms given this equation. And basically our dependent variable is if the individual relocated between 1 year, the year T is the year when the natural disaster occurred in the place. And we're going to assess if the person was affected or not. And we have this interaction term, which is being a Bolsa Família beneficiary and being affected by one of those categories of extreme natural events, if it was a severe, an extreme, or a catastrophic natural rainfall events. The betas should retrieve that information to us. Of course, we have the singletons below. And then we're going to control by like a really great information on those individuals. We have on the X here a matrix with individual level time varying variables. We have this for the H8 here, which are households information, then the municipality information as well, and finally the places of origin. So we are also restricting for time varying variables at the place of origin. And of course, this is a panel from 2015 until 2020, and basically we are going to control for fixed effects at the individual level and at the year level as well. So moving to the results already, I have here a Poisson panel effect estimations with fixed effects and those controls that I shown before. And what we can find here is the first column, we're just analyzing if the person, each individual, moved or not, relocated between 1 year and the next one. And what we can find is a fading out effect. So when we have the interaction between being a Bolsa Família beneficiary and being affected, directly affected by a catastrophic rainfall, we have a reduced likelihood of this specific person relocating to a different place, a decrease in 6%, okay? When we look at extreme rainfall, which is also in the first column here, we have the reduced likelihood in almost 4%. And when we look at severe rainfall, we just don't have a significant effect, which makes sense because we have the extreme events, and then we are fading out given the intensity of the event. Something different that we have here that I think is the biggest contribution in the literature and also in the policy analysis, which is we are able to analyze really, really specific and granular relocations within the map. So basically we can see some relocations within municipalities, within districts. And they're actually 5 times higher than relocations to different municipalities. And what we can find is that this result for relocations are basically coming from relocations within the municipalities' administrative area. So they are most probably moving to place nearby when they move. And here we have like a stronger effect of minus 7% for the catastrophic rainfall and almost 5% for the extreme ones, and this fade out for the severe rainfall. And as I said, when we analyze between municipalities, we don't find a significant effect at all. Something important here that I missed is this analysis we're restricting for the benefit holders. So basically those are usually the mothers of the households, or basically the person who works and have like a direct income effect as we expect. We can do this exactly same exercise for any other family member of those households. And what we find is that we have also significant effects, but they are smaller. So basically what we are thinking about here is that when the benefit holder is affected, the relocation decision for receiving the benefit for the Bolsa Familia have a larger effect in their not relocating to a different place. And when it's any family member, this is like a smaller magnitude. So basically we have in catastrophic rainfall events, we have less 3% probability to relocating to a different place, extreme ones 2%, and then again, it's significant for the within relocations, but not for the between ones. So the message I was trying to convey is basically this. We have this evidence that individuals affected by extreme natural events use those cash transfers benefits in their resilience strategies, as we're seeing for the results. The social benefits reduced the relocation likelihood after catastrophic and extreme rainfall events. And these are largely driven by a decline in within municipality moves. So I don't know if you've seen this in the first slide, but this is a work in progress. So we still have some more information we want to add to analyze, which is basically right now we are retrieving the geographical coordinates of Brazilian firms as well. So we're trying to connect the employer-employee so we can have a better understanding of this relocation function of the families and how having their place of work affected, or at least how distant are from those places, how it affects their decision making. So that's it. Thank you very much.